Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of the Cursed Hollow guide, the walkthrough here. We are on Cursed Hollow, and we're going to play around a little bit here with some AI in a custom game. Remember, this is the map. The focus here is to gather tributes throughout the game to curse the opposing team. 3 tributes will curse the enemy team. You can see there's an easy camp up here with our watchtower. I'm actually going to walk up there, capture that as we get out of the gate. This is kind of the noob zone. Watch out for this. If there's an enemy stitches, you can get hooked in here and body blocked and never get out alive. So that's always a good thing to watch for. You've got a boss spawning over here for the enemy team. We'll have ours down here. They spawn at 3 minutes in. The other camps spawn at 40 seconds. There's also a hard camp by mid lane on both sides. And you can see the enemy watchtower and easy camp down here. It's a 3-lane map. Just like Garden of Terror, it's got the kind of the same tile set as Haunted Mines. This is kind of a cool gank location as well. You can see they do have a stitches, so I'm kind of in the noob zone. There's one below the lane and one above it. Excuse me, but the computer AI is not known for its insane amounts of strategy. So I might actually be able to knock him into tower range. He takes a tower shot. Go to work. And so the tributes will spawn. This is the RNG element of the map. There's 6 locations. We're actually going to sit back here for a second. Let them push. There are 3 locations on the bottom part of the map. These little rings, circles, and there are 3 on the top. Right there, there, and there. Those 6 locations never change, but you never know where the next tribute's going to spawn, which location. It will be in one of those 6. We don't know when. The first tribute will appear between 2:10 and 2:50. It's really a 150 second delay, but there's a 20-second window on everything in this. So it could be 130 seconds. It could be 170 seconds. We're actually getting pushed hard here. It's like a triple lane bottom for the enemy team. It's going to be a little rough to hold this, and I don't want to walk into that. That's the first tribute. Then you'll keep gathering tributes until one team gets 3, where you'll have a 1 minute and 10-second curse on the enemy team. Of course, the other team will keep whatever tributes they had collected. So if they were 2 out of 3, they'll keep those, and have them after the curse is over. Also, let's see. In between, say after the first curse or tribute rather is captured and channeled by the enemy team, they've capped it. You have a window of 70 seconds, plus or minus 20, again. So it's going to be... This is all from data that a gentleman pulled out of the game files. I actually went in, and you can see actually the hard coding here, the computer code. So that's how we're kind of able to figure this out. It's not really publicly available as I get hooked there. I got to be careful. It's not at least easily accessible is what I should say. It is publicly available. Man, these guys are ferocious. They really want this bottom lane. And so you can see that tribute's going to be coming up any second. Here it is. That was about as late as it could be. They do back off. I wanted to knock this one into tower range. Not going to happen. I am going to take this guy down before he does too much damage. There is a window of, I believe, 15 seconds before the curse actually will appear. And you can see how I have this vision of the tribute. Rather, I called it a curse, but it's a tribute. So the enemy team captured that one. Unfortunately, we have our work cut out for us. I'm going to go mid lane. There's nobody here. We do have a good push top lane going on. Looks like both sides went for the ogres, the siege giants. And there's some really cool tricks you can do. We'll get into in another video where you can kind of the strategy behind it, how you pick the merc camps, which tributes. You don't have to fight for every tribute, right? Because they have 1 out of 3. I didn't really fight that hard for that. My team did not, with the exception of Nova. And so you can see it's not necessarily going to hurt us. It could come back to bite you in the arse, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to give up a tribute. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to get every single one. And so we're waiting. That was a pretty late one. That was at what, 250? So it's going to be pretty soon. It's up to 70 seconds plus or minus 20. So it could be a minute and 30 seconds, which would be in the next 10 seconds, I think. Can't remember exactly when they capped it. It could be another 15 maybe. About 4:30, we'll see it at the latest, I think. And something you have to keep track of in game, you can see there's like that extra statistic you have to keep in mind. Beyond everything else, it can be a little difficult. And you can hear it. So we've had some really late tributes today, pretty much as late as I can go in the random zone. Remember, it's a minute and 50 seconds, or no, 150 seconds plus or minus 20. I've got a Tychus on me. I think he's actually going to get the kill here. Except he walked away. He could have actually killed me. And now you can stop. It does take about 6 seconds to channel. See if I ask for help. They're so busy pushing top lane. We really don't need. You can see that that push is so strong right now, top lane, that we don't really need to cap this. And I can delay him, and that prevents him from leaving. Oh, no. Well. And I'm just going to keep poking away. Uh-oh. Able to get him. Now, Tychus, no! Oh, my goodness. So, I was able to delay them for quite a while. We did get some damage, and we didn't get a fort, though. And we gave up a tribute. So, is that really worth it? Not necessarily. I wouldn't think that was worth it, really. We are up almost a full level. And that's some of the stuff you have to kind of think of when you're playing this map, is how it goes. As I said, it can get very complicated. We don't want to go into everything at this point in this early on. We're just going to kind of focus on how the map works. And one thing we didn't talk about is, so the golems will push the outside lanes, right? I'm going to go bribe the enemy team's golems, unless actually they just capped it, so I can't bribe it anymore. And there they go. So you can see they're going to push the bottom lane. The bosses also push the outside lanes, and the 2 night camps push the inside lanes. I'm just going to bribe this. And then they're going to probably get our bottom for it. But they're going to have to respond to this, and that's a decent location for the enemy team. So we capture this. You can see the tribute window. It gives you a notification, the time you have. And they're actually going to capture this because the AI bots aren't really fighting for it at all. I think they fought for a single tribute in here. So you can see what happens when you're cursed. Your towers do not shoot, and your minions have 1 hit point. These mercs, we capture them ahead of time. They're okay. I'm 1v3 here. I'm not going to be able to win this. I might actually die. His hook is down for a bit, so I'm okay. Now, we haven't gotten a fort yet, so this is a little rough. We haven't even gotten a tribute. Things aren't looking great, right? And he just spawned a gargantuan. Jeez. Jeezy peasy. This is not going well. We did get a fort though, and I'm actually gonna die. Shoot, I wasn't paying attention. But thing is, now we're trading. We got a fort. They're actually probably gonna get this keep, just because nobody else fell back to defend. Now I should have played a little safer there, not died. I was talking too much, but we do have a good strong presence. Mid lane's fine, and top lane is still full health on that. You can see our core's about to start taking damage though. Trying to get a kill on Nazebo here. And I'm not going to be able to catch Tychus. So, what do we have? Their bottom lane is pretty good. Top lane is exposed. They do have a guy down. We could take our boss. The Grave Golem. We'll show you how that works. I'm going to actually do this because they don't want to really work together. There we go. You can actually ping AI like that. It's a pretty cool tip. And they will follow you around and listen a little bit better to the commands that you issue. Before I was like telling them to defend or whatever, they weren't really doing it. So Now they'll pretty much go where I say to go. It's pretty good that way. It's not perfect, you know, but I mean, it's a lot. It can do really well. So now we can collapse on this. We're almost behind a full level though, and they're actually a little slow getting here. Focus the Tychus down so he doesn't get the Odin up, and then just standing and shooting on him and getting a kill, and then I had my passive up, so I'm okay. We'd actually want to focus Nazebo there, but we'll get both. The totem slows him. Nice heroic there. And now we can go push with our boss. This is the golem. So we'll go ahead and we'll push with this. As I said, let's see, I did talk about that. The between after the curse, it's a 70-second timer with a 20-second window. So it's 50 to 90 seconds till the next tribute. And you can see there it is. We don't really need it in this case. I do want to stop tanking the fort. Because they're 0 of 3 and we're 0 of 3, I mean, it's not a big deal to go for it. I don't want to tank that, though. Oh, my goodness. Good heals from Rhaegar. Nice hook from Stitches. Wait for the minion waves to go, and then we'll go ahead and get this. You let the minions tank the fort, and then, you know, it's easier for you to push. Because the fort does slow you if it hits you, which can be really annoying. So I'm going to go grab this. I have 50 stacks again. I should probably use those. If they aren't taking their easy camp, I'm going to bribe it. If they are, we could even jump them. And you have to stand on this, otherwise he could cap it. So we'll actually be able to steal this. I'm not going to go ahead and bribe it now, which kind of pointless. What we can do is take their night camp, because I do have 2 bribe stacks. And you'll see these little like doodads, like there's some of these on the lamps on the Haunted Mines map, for instance. Will actually give your position away. You can see how it's still swinging. You can definitely look for that as you're playing. A really cool trick. More experienced players will know about and use. They're gonna get this. I say we just push. And you can see we haven't gotten a single tribute so far. This isn't the way I'd recommend playing the game. It just kind of worked out that way with the AI not really fighting for it. I'll probably go ahead and back up after this to go fight for the next one. I would imagine the enemy team's coming in. And I'm out of mana. Oh, they're actually not coming. They're pushing mid lane. We can take this. There's these there. Let's go with Berserk. Alright. We'll be able to get this and fall back. So I'm going to fall back. We'll fight for the next tribute to actually show what that's like. Because we haven't really displayed that yet. And there they are. Okay, I was wondering where Rhaegar and Tyrael were. This isn't the best engagement. We do have 5 on 3, or 4 on 3 Nova left to back up, and now it's a 4 on 5. Tap the well, and then I can use my heroic. We did lose our healer there, our support, and I don't really have mana, so Nova's trying to clear bottom lane. It's getting a little dicey. I really don't think I can capture this. Nope. It's unfortunate we got cursed twice. I certainly don't know how to play the objectives. And now you can see they are on the core. It's at full health though. We should be able to get a kill in Stitches. Except, okay, he used Putrid Bile to get out. Gonna clear this up. Defend there. And so we're both down to keep. You can see their 2 keeps are pretty good shape. And ours are as well. That mid wall here on the tier 2 is starting to get knocked down. We do lose top fort, so we're down a fort right now. This is going to last again. You get the timer for a minute, 10 seconds. Just going to push the lanes back when you're cursed because your minions and forts and towers don't really do anything. We really want to defend that. With that wave, if I get there in time, I'll have enough for 2 stacks. Yeah, and I've got the 2 stacks. So I'm going to go ahead and bribe these. We're both down a hero. It's not the best. Let's go take their boss. Since they're out of position, their bottom lane, we can go take this. We'll have a nice push top lane with the siege golems. As long as they don't push in and kill the core behind us, which is totally viable. Totally viable strat. Oh, I'm getting body blocked. Shoot. Okay. We might actually need to fall back and defend that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and then fall back. Normally I'd send at least one of us back already, but we don't really have... I'm rooted. Trying to do too much at once. And they're not capping it. I don't understand. Okay. I'll just walk in the circle and cap it. Cool. Now, there is a shield in the core, so you don't have to freak out if it's taking a damage. You can see the blue bar. Sergeant Hammer's here in time to defend. You do have to go through the shield. The shield does regenerate. I'm actually going to try and get a Zebo, but... There we go. We were able to get him. Pick him off. Gonna go ahead and take ours now. That fort fell, so you can see some nice push here. Does stack up nicely, and they're gonna have to defend that that gate there. And if you keep an eye on the timer, you'll see that it's gonna be pretty close to another tribute soon. And so. There you go. So that's alright. It's not the best placement for us. It's the other side of the map, but we do cap this, and then we can go up there and defend it. And again, it's 0 of 3 for both teams. So if the enemy team were to get this, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And also, even you can see the curses aren't terribly... They're not like game ending necessarily. In a higher, against actual real people and not AI, it'd be a much bigger deal to get cursed twice in a row like that. And not get a single tribute, but we're able to make things work. And now the enemy team has to defend. I'm going to go try and steal their knights, except I don't have any bribe stacks, so it's really risky. Let's group up. And push this 5. The Grave Golem actually makes for a really nice push if you push with it. It's not as good as, say, a 100 Skull Golem on Haunted Mines. This is like a smaller version of that, but it still works out. Go with Bolt here. See, if an enemy team gets CC'd by that stun, it's pretty much over for them. We're able to get a kill, we can get the keep. There'll be another tribute up soon, but it's not, as I said, terribly important because they're 0 of 3, and I think we can actually win this without getting a curse on the other team. No, I got stunned. I walked into the Gazlo stun there by mistake. They're down 2 heroes, so we could potentially stay and fight. I'm going to go get the tribute. And... oh wow, somebody killed these but didn't cap it. So that's a free camp for us. Was going to bribe him, but no need. And now their team's going to have to fend these off because they would be on the core. And you can see there's a channeling time. Looks like 6 seconds, right? Maybe 7. And we're at 2 of 3, so we can go take our knights. You start to get the feel for the flow as you play this game a lot more. And it's not necessarily like a cookie cutter, like you gotta do a certain, play the game a certain way every time. The random tributes will throw things off, the team comps will throw things off. You know, a lot of things will change from game to game, but there's a general flow you can get to, when to take camps, when to go for the tribute, when to push. Did we not get that? Alright, there we go. And now they're kind of have to play defensive. They're down 2 keeps, so we're up a fort right now. And their top keep is exposed. So these are the forts, tier 1, and then tier 2 are the keeps. Just in case that is confusing at all. I am going to need help for this. Should probably focus 1. Okay. And if you leave vision of a camp when you're taking it, but you haven't completed taking it, the mercs will go back to full health. If you kill one of the mercenaries, they will remain dead, but they will disappear. And we're going to run right into for the enemy team. Oh boy, I don't have a... my passive already popped. So... we're kind of in a rough spot. In fact, let's go for this. They have to get the tribute. So because the enemy team has to go for that, we can take their boss because it's on the other side of the map. You kind of want to do it as fast as possible. We do have some vision here to see if they're coming through this area with the minions. So we can kind of keep tabs on them. We don't know exactly where they went. Looks like they're going to push bottom lane. Kind of like a backdoor strat, but we can all get back in time, I think. Let's hope so. Yeah, we're all here in time. I don't think we haven't gotten a kill yet, have we? We can get Tychus though. Nope, he blinked. Nova walked right past, okay. You can see there right now the boss is just taking that keep down while they were trying to push. So split pushing is a big mechanic on this map. You really do it. You can do it really well without even like splitting up your team. You can just do it with actually pushing lanes with mercenaries. And that whole time we were like, I was backing and going to defend. We took their keep down top. Now I didn't want to go to a base race there because we did have to go through this keep still, and that would have slowed us down. We could have, of course, if it was an actual full team of 5, we could have gone mid lane here, right onto the core, and base raced if we'd wanted to. And now you can see the enemy team is cursed for 1 minute and 10. And I'm not sure what Nova's doing. Try and take this, I guess. Our minions will win the minion battle. But I know my heroic's down, and looks like we have a couple down. Ancestral healing's up. That's an important one. Now mine's up. And so somebody took... who did we kill? Stitches? Took Resurgence. We're able to get another kill. Lily took Resurgence. And Stitches is down now for a full life cycle. Full death timer. We should be able to finish the game at this point. If we get another kill on Lily, she's dead. Be careful, I don't want to tank the core. Hammer split pushed, actually, I think. Or he fell back bottom lane. Oh, oh, oh. I'm like so low. Let me go back. Instead of finishing it, we'll just retreat. The core's at 68%. And you can see there's that little window. They've got one tribute up, right, that they captured before the curse. So that they retain that. And then oh, Hammer's playing with fire over there. I'll go bribe ours and tell them to take our hard camp. Oh, these are already taken. Somebody's been taking all the merc camps but not capping them. It's so nice of them. So now's where the pressure really gets on. We still have 2 keeps. So we have top lane and mid lane pushing with catapults. And then bottom lane's pushing with catapults for both sides. We should probably attack these. Then we cap it. Run down. We take our boss. Try to split up so you don't all get stunned and body blocked into a stun. And now they have to defend. See, they're defending the giants, defending the knights mid lane, and we're going ahead and getting another camp. And then we could even go... In fact, if she's going to cap that, I'm going to go bribe these. So I do have 2 bribe stacks. So generally you don't take bribe on Raynor, but I just love showing that mechanic off. Don't even really need to bribe it because their team's out of position, but look at that. We could have actually probably kept ganked Gazlowe as he was coming in. Now we've got a decent push. We can fight. There's no really need to go for another tribute here and another curse because it would take 3. We should be able to end the game before then. If they go for it, actually they're going to have to defend. And we can kind of just go all in here and do a ton of damage to the core. Oh, as I bring up the score screen by mistake. And I'm just going to focus this. Even if we wipe... Well, actually, if we wipe now, it'd be pretty bad because we have a keep down. And they could just go across the map and kill us. And I don't know who on our team had Resurgence. There were a couple. It would have been risky. But you can see, you know, like, we fought most of that match without a curse, right? Or without a tribute. We were cursed twice. And then we finally got one and cursed the enemy team. And so... They aren't necessarily a game-ending mechanic, and I say in a higher tier game they are. They're definitely a lot more important than they were in this game, the tributes and the curses. It's just you need coordination to fight over them. You don't want to go into a tribute like 1v5 or 2v4 or really, you know, anything like that. Even 3v4 or something, man down, going into fight over a tribute is really risky, and I would not recommend it. And so that's why we ended up getting cursed twice. I just didn't have the coordination with the AI bots to get them to fight over it. And then we fixed that after I had them follow me around. But it wasn't game ending in this case, and you can survive. You most likely in a good cursed hollow game, you will be cursed, and the enemy team will be cursed. You know, both sides will get a curse because those tributes stack. So unless you're getting every single tribute, like you're not gonna necessarily, you know, be able to get through without getting cursed. It will happen, but you know, it's rare because they stack and they do persist as you capture tribute. It stacks up through the entire game. They don't reset at a curse when a curse happens. Just to keep in mind, there are those random elements. You've got 150-second start time on the curses, so it could be as short as 130 seconds, which is 2 minutes 10 seconds, or as long as 170, which is almost 3 minutes. That's 2 minutes 50. So between 210 and 250 is when you're going to see that first little tribute go up. And remember, it's about a 15-second window, like countdown, maybe a little bit longer, a second or two there on the warning for a tribute. Once you cap a tribute, you've got, you know, whichever team caps it, there's a 70-second window. It's a 20-second window rather, a 70-second timer with a 20-second window. So it's between 50 and 90 seconds for the next tribute to spawn, and then you've got the curse. If you get 3 tributes. That lasts for 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's not variable, so that is always the same length. And then you have, after the curse is over, after that 1 minute and 10 seconds is up, it's another 1 minute and 10 seconds before the next tribute. And I think, I'm not certain, but I think that the post-curse time is also a 20-second window. I'm not certain about that. It might actually be static. Looking at these docs here, I'd have to go in and test it. But there's a little bit of variance. Get in there, kind of play in, you know, some practice custom games just to or co-op to get a feel for that map and get a feel for the timers. And you don't know exactly where it's going to spawn, so you don't one of those 6 locations. But it could be really lucky for your team. It could be also be really unlucky. And that's just kind of the flavor of the map. It's a really fun map to play on in spite of that once you get the hang of it. And remember, tributes aren't necessarily like life or death. You don't have to fight for every single one. We'll get more strategy in a future video, but I'm going to cut this one short. It's 30 minutes long. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be bringing the other 2 maps to you pretty shortly.